that we can get to the management office in which they can share with their tenants. But it's probably much easier for them to go online and get the locations of all the different all the food pantries that are in our area, and we're fortunate to have quite a few actually, but they have different dates in which you can come. I'll name a few. Eskenazi, which is the largest in our area, probably the best, I think, in Indianapolis. Then we have various churches. We have Click, neighborhood services, and just to name those few. They're going to be able to help the tenants at least be able to get some type of produce and nutritious food, and which they can't get access to pretty easily because the nearest grocery stores are at 86th and Michigan Road, and then the neighborhood at Kessler and Michigan Road. As I said, most of these tenants, they're on some type of government subsidy, so their income is low, and they either don't have transportation or it just will be troublesome for them to go through these areas, which is why we call our areas food deserts, because there's no easy access to get to a food grocery store. We have contacted city county council persons that represent us, and we have them here right now, but there's 3 more, I believe, that are in our area. Getting a grocery store placed in an area is not easy. Yeah. Okay. So it is going to take some management where we can get all the resources we can. And I believe we're going to try to also get assistance from state. Sharice Pryor has been notified about this also. So we're trying to get all the players involved, come on board to brainstorm this particular issue. Right now, food pantries are pretty much a Band-Aid, I would say. But long term, I'm not sure if it's going to be helpful for people in their schedules because they only open certain times and days and certain days. Now, that's where we're at with the food desert. The other issue is I get notices from Metropolitan Development, and there's been a request to install a 6-foot fence along an area. I thought when I looked at it that this was just an individual property owner that wanted to do this. But talking to Joanne and reading a little bit more, then looking at the area which they're saying they're putting the fence, it is a fence that's going to run along the waterway, in which I think they're trying to secure this area from people using it. I know it's a good deterrent, when people, want to get into the waterways. Kids sometimes always curious and want to be near water. But we have these retention ponds in a lot of subdivisions also. This particular person will probably be meeting and having a hearing about this, and we hope to get more information about it as we go along with this issue. Now, we try to regularly go through the neighborhood and check for different areas, things that look like it's out of place, things that look somewhat as a spot in the neighborhood where someone's either trying to start a business or they're placing stuff or installing stuff along Michigan Road that's not allowed. And we stay on top of that. But as we go into the other streets, into other neighborhoods, that's where it becomes a little cumbersome because it's hard to see these things going on. People, entrepreneurs can get very inventive. They will start a business and they'll put signs up on trees and block a road or put up a placement where they're obstructing the right of way. They're pulling their commercial trucks and they'll do unimaginable things. But until you see it, you know, it doesn't look right because no one has things like this. We have trouble right now with 16-wheeler trucks because these truckers come in and drop off their produce or whatever product they have. They tend to stay anywhere they can, so they'll park along the street. In some cases, they won't even park on private parking lots, which isn't permitted. But if the property owner doesn't have an issue with it, it can be okay, although it's still a violation. There has to be some type of written agreement. Sometimes you don't have to worry about this because, you know, you're only here a day or two and they're gone. But then, I guess as truckers, word of mouth gets around and everyone comes in and one leaves and someone else shows up in that spot. So the biggest issue we had was actually at Michigan Road and 69th Street, which used to be the Chase Bank. It's now to be donut shop, but they were using that lot to the point where it was involved, and they had to put up a large temporary fence around it. In one case, the police did have to tow away a truck because they didn't want to comply. And they actually just moved the fence and went on in anyway. But I'm afraid they take the consequences because of that. So once again, we just try to be watchguards and try to just keep on track of anything that someone wants to start a business or anyone wanting to put something additionally on their property that doesn't meet the development standards of the Marion County municipal codes. Got some questions coming up.
You up there?
Yeah.
You can get up on screen.
Thank you. So what can people do to help solve their legal issues? Basically, you call the Mayor's Action Center. The number is 317 327-4622. Let them know that there was a they will need to know an address. Let them know what type of vehicle it is. You know, let them know it's a commercial vehicle. I guess is the best to describe vehicles that Business Neighborhood Services has a few days in which they'll respond. And mostly they'll comply because when they realize that someone's reported them, they'll just go ahead and move on. But then if you got someone that's had it there for a while and someone's reported it, finally, they'll just get an education with city governments and city municipal codes. You can't park your commercial vehicles on residential property or any residential streets.
Okay, the next one, can everyone see that sometimes you can't, and the screen are not having the best day today? So can a community complain about a homeowner that's allowing a truck owner to park in their driveway? Will it help?
It's pretty simple with that situation also, because when the inspector shows up, he's gonna address it if it's on that property, and he's gonna address it to the property owner. And whether the property owner says it's okay or not, it's not his call, because he's in violation also. So,
And the next one, what the violation would do to our home values, and I will circle back on the other thing in a minute, because I have something else that someone put in. Hey,
well, any and all type of violations of things in which
Recording in
don't meet
progress.
the standards of municipal code. If you got someone looking at a property for sale and they see these trucks and see these vehicles that are jacked up in the front yard, and they're intending not what to come and or stay in a place like that. So the issue is in keeping our neighborhoods clean and making sure that everyone's following the municipal codes of Marion County. These codes have been in effect since, I believe, 1969, when it was last reviewed. So they're only to keep your property at a level where it doesn't bring your property values down if someone's bringing something in new. Because there's only a few different businesses that you can have in a residential property. Off the top of my head, you can have a barber shop, you can have a insurance office, you can have a daycare. With daycares now, there is a code in which you can only have so many. But there's only a handful of properties in which you can have a business at their location, and none in which it involves any type of food or any type of other entertainment. I'm going to do that. Follow up.
Okay, all right. If we answered all those, where is this waterway fence located? And also, this person wants to know, can we remove signs in the right way that advertise businesses?
Well, personally, I can say I've removed signs, especially the ones that you stick in the road. I always try to contact the owner of the business if they're putting it in front of their business, because even they can't put a sign out in front of their big business. Any sign that they have has to be a sign in which follows the sign ordinances, and they have to go to the city to get a permit for that. So those little temporary signs you see stuck in the ground, or signs nailed up on the utility pole or any city structure, those are illegal. And in the summertime is when it's like the weeds, they pop up. There's so many. They're putting signs on top of signs. I basically just get the address for the where it is, and I just say, hey, at the corner of 71st and Michigan Road, all four sides, northeast, south, and west corners, is in front of the address of 7099 Michigan Road, which is the West Lane Plaza. Give them as much information as you can, but they're used to getting these types of calls, so it won't be anything foreign to them if you tell them, hey, I want to report illegal signs. So, as far as answering that particular question about can I remove it, I would say no. But at the same time, if they placed it in the right of way, hey, it's when I say the game's on, it's not on their property, it's on city property. So if you remove something off the right of way, which is on city property, they don't have any leg to stand on.
Okay, the next one is, can Indigo help the need to be able to go to the store, grocery? What about the liquor association? And before I go further, I want to say that we also have one of our counselors here, and she has talked with the city's administrator of food programs. She has info to share on food debt. So, yeah. Would you like to?
I could, I'll be very quick, is that okay?
Yeah, she's gonna help us with that one.
I'll come get on the camera so folks at home can see me. Thank you, Derek. So I did, luckily Joanna had emailed me ahead of time about.
I am gonna get a long hand look. No.
Luckily, she emailed me ahead of time and I was able to reach out to the city's food administrator, my Lele Kennedy, who may be a great person to have come out. Okay, great. And she said, one, kind of answering the Indigo question, I don't know that Indigo does rides, but the city has partnered with Lyft, the rideshare app, where you can get $1 Lyft ride to the grocery with the code FEEDINDY, FEEDINDY. You have to download the Lyft app. You can use it up to 4 times a month. And she encourages folks, and I think the ride there is one and the ride back is one. So she encourages you to share to get in the Lyft vehicle with someone else so you can go more frequently. And she also said that there are 2 Hispanic grocery stores. One is El Rey at 71st in Michigan, and the other is Tienda Morelos at 79th in Michigan. And she just encourages folks to go into those groceries. The produce is the same, no matter what language it's in. And then she said all of the canned goods and packaged goods usually have pictures on them, in addition to English and Spanish language, so that you would be able to go in there and find the food that you need, even though it could be difference of culture. She just encourages folks to do that. So those are the information I have, and I will send you the email from her with information as well.
Thank you, and I want to say, because I know what I'm going to hear, that is wonderful. What we don't want is a Band-Aid for anything. We want our grocery stores. We want the stores like we are used to having. We have lost store after store, and what we're asking the council and the city does is help support us in the overall land use and the development of our community. And I'm not putting down what you said, because once I don't bash people, we always appreciate information, and 3, what you do with it is up to you, right? But in the meantime, I'm getting all kinds of comments, and I know Derek does too, that we want our grocery stores, and we want a store that comes in and treats us like any other area. And if we don't say something, they're going to give us Lyft rides for $1. I personally don't want to say that I'm for that to help, but it needs to be a bridge. It doesn't need to be the solution, because it's not the solution. People need a car, or they need to be able to have a grocery store to walk to. And the people who are in wheelchairs can't always get in there. You get a Lyft driver that's a female, she's not going to be able to lift someone from their wheelchair into there. But if they have their rides or wheelchairs or mobile devices, they can do that themselves, and that's what they can do now. But you always come with great information. I'm just trying to appreciate you are helping. You are. Yeah. I hope it doesn't sound like no. We work together. Yes, we work together. So thank you so much. Thank you. The next one is, let's see, okay, this question involves an issue where we have a church, St. John the Baptist Reformed Orthodox at 6306 Michigan Road. And they're wondering what it would take to at least have marked left or right lane to make entry into that church safe. We know that they're very close to a light there, just north of the library on the west side of the street. But what they're having accidents, so they're seeking any type of assistance, any type of help that will make it safer for them, because we know the city's not gonna put another light right there. So what are some things that can help that church? And if you can help us with that too, Ms. Laney, anyone who is here who deals with the city and issues, and what can we advocate for them, or any ideas?
Yes, it's gonna probably take, an effort by, more than one person requesting it. I don't know whether the church has asked for it to be done.
Yes.
If they have asked it, that might be all that is needed.
It wasn't.
But you're getting at you're right there on top of it. Yeah. But doing a traffic study is something that is not easy. A lot of times, if they have a type of solution or format in which it doesn't fit, then they don't need, none is needed. I'll put in requests for a stop sign. And if the sign is only needed, it'll probably take some effort by their council person representing them. And more than likely, it's something that, like I said, it'll take more than one person to get involved. It's when they see one person get involved in dealing with the church itself. It does help if there is records of accidents happening. But again, some people have accidents that are they're real minor and they don't report it. So it could be something, they're not seeing the whole picture because it's not reported. But when you get one that becomes tragic, such as someone is killed or just injured, then that becomes an issue in which it gets straight up to the mayor's office. And he probably would like a follow-up on your behalf on what's going on. But your council person will be a person in which will advocate for.
I know this situation, and I would like for you to, the secretary that is here, and this lady is right here, please make sure that you connect with her and let her know when he will, has a lot of information. They have had tragedies there, and we don't know what the solution is, but we do need some sort of fact finding to help. Would you agree with that?
Sure.
That's a very nice church. So sure that may give some solution, because they're just so close to the next.
I drive down
is a key.
Yeah, and you have to really be paying attention when you get to that area.
Yeah.
Because there's so many different options, and you have to pay attention to the car in front of you is doing. But be that squeaky wheel.
And we're moving along with our time here, we're a little over, but I want to get these few questions in. Someone's asking, what about a traffic person assigned to that job? Has there been a traffic person assigned to?
Well, whenever we got an occasion, we had.
Okay. So that's something you can also say to Mr. Laney. And this one says, what can homeowners do to get absentee owners to trim the tree limbs that are hanging over the fence property lines onto your yard?
That happens quite a bit, especially in the summer. Basically, if it's going on your side of the property, you have every right to cut it back off your property.
Just don't go over your property.
Just don't go onto their property. Don't, if there's a fence there, don't, go around and go to this side and start cutting some more. So, the key to it is communication. Hopefully you can tell them, hey, I've got an issue. Hopefully you've got a neighbor and you're close to your neighbor where they'll be agreeable with you. But if you don't have a relationship with your neighbor, you have every right to trim it back off the side of the property.
I want to ask you,
And I'm gonna make it on. Do I have your question?
yeah, you have my question, the one you just simply read. I want to know, even when you write a letter, and send it registered to the owner of the open farm, I call and take a picture of the tree that's in the over in Greener. So what's happening now is that most of the people that are living in this area of Grand Hills, Catherine, 58th, 59th Street, the owners have passed. So most of the people come from Carmel and they buy these homes. And then they put renters in them that don't care. And that's what's happening to me. And I've been on Grandy Oaks for years. I
Ms.
built
Malone,
the house.
I don't mean to stop you, but all that you're saying, she's saying what is true. But if we don't get it written down, it's not going up. And right now,
I wrote it down, I called the dog, what do you call it, dog catcher or pond, or whatever. They never did respond.
but you have Ms. Delaney here today,
And I
and I
had,
want you to connect with her because we are now at 2:44. You've got two more speakers, and
I just want to say, is it legal? Because I was told
write
that
that
I
down,
could not
and I'm gonna do that. I'm
cut the
gonna
trees.
You can cut anything that's on your side of the property.
They have a fence there.
Right.
And
They
the
got
trees are going up.
You can remove anything, whether it's trees, whether it's bushes, any growing through the fence line, anything on the growing stuff, on your side of the property, you don't have to contact the owner. And basically, you're trying to be a neighbor and want to do things right, but at the same time, it's best to do what you legally can do, which is cut back everything on your side of the property. And, instead of our fence.
We have another comment here, but we're gonna have to move along. And Mrs. Malone is an association president. She's been here for years. She knows, she keeps her property up, and a lot of us have that issue. But we still have to, no offense to anyone, we still have to stick to a protocol so we don't get anywhere. But Ms. Malone, to send me an email, anything you send me, if you don't get through, I'm gonna be on somebody's back to get it through too. We're gonna work together. She has a point. We all are dealing with that with some issue or another. Someone is saying that MetroNet Internet Company has done the work. And in the leeway between their house and the neighbor's house, and so far all they've done is take an underground trench and install underground cable. The cable's not connected, it's sticking out of the ground about a foot. They did replace the grass, the dirt did not damage the plants next to it. So that's a comment, not a question. We're seeing them. We knew they were coming. We had AT&T come before. Thank you for that comment. Right now we are at 2:46, and we still haven't got to the webmaster or Maritime Health, and we don't want to miss the tax. Give Mr. Derek Land a hand. All right, and we welcome. Personally, you have got to see this website. My goodness, if you're not going to your website, you are missing out. You are missing out. This man is working tirelessly. What you need goes on there. Take it away.
So,
Yeah.
we just update the website. We try to make it a one-stop shop, for all of the information you need. Excuse me. Versus, reading emails, but pull the internet, the website anytime, 24 hours a day. So, there's also a page on there, I'm trying to go by memory, that I set up to, if you have an issue that you want to report, we have That reaches out to all the, we have 5 council individuals in this area, Crooked Creek area, and we have an email address for sending a message to all of them, so you can always send any request or any information they have that you want them to know about or report. But, hold on.
When you have a technique,
There you go.
There we go.
Okay, thank goodness we have a technique.
But, we have pretty alerts. I mean, we try to keep it up to date. Right now, of course, the field with the ticker is at 0 because we're live now. So I'll update that. It'll give you, hey, this is the next meeting coming up. Well, right there, it'll tick down days, hours, minutes, a little count. Also let you know if it's a Zoom or it's a regular meeting, a different Zoom-in meeting. Also, there's different options. On the right-hand side, anytime there's an update, there's an update. We put it here. The latest thing we have, the hot topics, latest ideas for any part. So it's at the top and right there, the hot topic 2. So that's always an option. But if you scroll down, well, of course, here that shows you the latest information from there. You can always click it if you want to make it bigger. Excuse me, you can always click to make it bigger and you can see it. I'm going to print it out and you print it up there. There we go. Yeah, so you can click on anything, of course, it'll say, you can click to make bigger and you can see that area. Hey, this is the area, they're wanting to do this, that, and the other. So you want to change they want to make. Scroll down. Click back up for the latest ideas. So if you click on.
That's not working.
Hello, testing. This better?
Yes.
Okay.
And everyone hear him, the mic is going to turn it on. What do you think? It's not going to be nice.
Okay, I'll talk louder. So if you get the back here over the top, already scroll down. Here we have different tabs across the bottom to make it easier. Turn to general, you scroll on calendar if you want to know calendar information. The documents, the flyers that you want to download. We have different sections. If you go back up to the city, go down. It's all alphabetical too, so it's easier to locate. So right here under the government information, you click on more info. Here's the city council information. 5 counselors with their information here. Also, if you want to reach them individually, you can, but you also have an email address right here that will send to all 5. So we did some testing, some of them will bounce back. It's not on our side. It's actually possibly the state's email server, but by the response of the email, it said it was the recipient, so it means it's them. It's not Creek Alert, but letting you know. But if you have any problems, of course, you can go to contact us and put your request in, and I'll take a look at it, see if we can resolve the problem. But yeah, so any information, like I said, we updated the computer. So you can scroll back at the top, contact us. And then here's where you go to contact. If you have some questions, look here to the left under the subject, there's different areas. If you have something specific, you have a general statement. If you have something for an individual, you have some different individual buttons you can click. And if you just want to send an email anonymously, if you want anybody to know, hey, won't you come to me? So just send it to that email address, and we'll make sure it goes wherever it needs to go. But coming soon in the future on some of the Zooms, I'll be showing how to do some things on the browser. You know, maybe say bookmark different things. You know, if you want to bookmark Crooked Creek Alert or whatever you want to do, so I'm gonna give some information. But if you have any questions, hey, did you talk about this, that, and the other? Maybe you guys go here and submit your information, and I can have that in the future. Any questions? Any comments?
I wanted to say thank you to, well, I call him Mr. Weaver. He said he wants us to call him Herschel because he's one of us, okay? So, say thank you, Herschel, please.
Thank you.
Because we have 5 city county councilors that cover us from 38 to 96 First County, Springfield Road. 165. And we want to see the other ones too, because some of you come from outside of the immediate area. And we're always happy to see Representative Sheriff Pryor. She is so helpful. And she comes in and she listens because I see the results from what she hears from you. So if you have any questions for her, we can put a link on there where they can send you questions in. And would you like to give what your email is so that everyone can know? I'm having issues with the computer too.
I think it's H94 at IN dot gov.
H94. It will not let me type down. So write that down. You have pins H94 at in.gov.
Yes,
H is it HR?
just H,
H,
yeah, it's just a council district.
H94. All right. Well,
It's
this is
H94 at IGA
IGA.
dot IN dot gov.
H94 at IGA.in.gov.
One more time. H94, yes.
I'm trying to look it up over here. That's okay, I can get rid of that.
Dot IN dot gov, yes, that's it.
Okay, I'm going to, put this up here.
And I just want to reiterate, if you have any questions, if you can't get out here, or you want to stay here, go to the website, submit it, and we'll get the questions answered. That's the easiest way. A lot of people are like writing, or what you learn in public, you do it anywhere, it's traffic.
Is it, I'll say it one more time. H94 at IGA?
Yes, yes.
Thank you. There we go. Okay. H94 at IGA.in.gov. Great. Wonderful. That's it. We face challenges, we face them together to get more done. Right now, we're getting pretty close, and I want to give Ms. Reba Taylor Hill a chance from Marion County Health, and then we're going to move into our assessment office. Would you give her a welcome to the ribbon? When my technology acts up, and they get away with not sitting at the speaker table. She's always here. Ask those questions you give them. If you want to go straight to the seven, I can. Well, we can come back, but you can say something, and I want you to know.
I'm Reba Taylor Hill, Community Education Outreach Liaison for the Marion County Public Health Department, Department of Housing and Neighborhood Health. I'm gonna forward one time, that's what she has to talk about, is far more important. Nobody's getting put out of their houses, for my knowledge, but what she talks about, there are people who are losing their homes. So she has more important stuff. But I will say this, It's in the behind the grass season time, mosquito season, road season. Be vigilant, high weed grass, call 221-2150. Mosquito control, 221-9440. You call them every day for them to come and spray. Road control, 221-7588. Because if you keep junk and debris, not y'all, but other folk we know, in your yard, rodents will come. They will find you. They will say, oh, she wants me to live there. Happy hallelujah, I'm coming. And they will grace you with their presence. And they won't just stay outside, they'll come inside. So please be careful. And if you got tires without rims on your property, mosquitoes say, oh, that water is warm up in there. I like to live there. And they will populate and then you'll get it up. Okay? So please, you don't have to call behind the grass. If it's on a vacant property, don't call on your neighbor. Because some people don't cut their grass till the weekend. So don't call on Wednesday because the grass is a little hot. We've had all this rain. Give them a chance till the weekend. Now, then they don't get it cut. Unless you know they're sick or then be a good neighbor, okay. Like my neighbor, right now, my husband had a stroke. I can't cut it. And so my husband can't cut it right now. So our neighbor, God bless him, cuts our grass. So, let's just kind of be a good neighbor. Know what's going on before you call the health department. Because if we come and they write it up and issue a ticket, that's money people can't afford to pay. Okay? I'm not advocating for the health department to find people. We should be about helping people. And if you see someone in need, call and get some help. That's what we should do first before we do anything else. And I did put a packet over there on the table that I did bring the report of everything that's been written up in the cookie area. Get one off the table. If you don't see an address that you think needs to be on here, call me. 317-221-2074. I'll cut out the middleman for you, so you don't have to try to call the inspector. You can call me, and I will trip you on over and get it to them and get it put in the system. 317-221-3074. Rita Taylor Hill. And I did put a newsletter on the table. It does have something on there about the sewing equipment because it's a quarterly newsletter. If you want to go on the email to get this quarterly, come and see me and give me your name and your email address, and they will send this to you by email. And then I did put something over there from NeighborLink for home repairs for seniors. They're now taking, if you qualify, 62 and older, own your own home, live in Marion County, and fit within the income requirements, then you need to get this flyer and call NeighborLink and get some help if you need. And then I put this packet over there. Black Expo is coming June 27th through the 30th. It's not in July this year because the Pope is coming. So they had to change their date. So it's now June 27th through the 30th. Indiana Convention Center, Exhibit Halls, FK, and the 500 in Sagamore Ballroom. I did put something up there. Back to school, covering kids and families are having their back to school and community resource day Saturday, July 13th from 8 to noon in the North Parking Lot of Hadwood Building, 3838 North Wood. Please get this little packet. And then in that packet is some information on the Purple Line construction updates. And on Hoosier, from the Hoosier Environmental Council. And then the 2024 Indie Veggie Fest is coming. And so that information is in there. And they'll have over 38 vendors, and that's gonna be at the Gainbridge Fieldhouse on Sunday, July 14th. And I think that's all I had, probably a little more than I should have.
And, you know, she always has great information, but before I'm looking at my purse for something, it reminded me. No, if the officer was here, I would have asked him to speak about. But have you heard of RFID security? Yes. Okay, we get these things, the purses, the wallets, etc., to keep us from being hacked. But guess what has been going on in the community? It's not just that, because there's been quite a few instances where grocery stores, they are covering over and they're doing something so that they are catching your number. So you have to be really careful. That's been going on. We've heard of a lot of that this last week. Gas stations. I hesitate to call the grocery store. One, because it can switch. Criminals are not consistently on the spot on purpose. But watch your bank accounts, because some banks don't give the money back. So if you have it, they can have a scanner for those people who are unaware of what it is. Someone can be right here with me, and I can scan all the way over to Libya and take information and walk out with her information and go online and use everything she's got and wipe her out. It happens. We have another resident, and I know they have some extreme problems with people getting into their bank account. So be very careful. Watch your bank account. If you don't know how to have your bank account, to be able to watch it fully on your phone, and you want to, check with your bank. They'll teach you how to do it. But in the meantime, they're out there. Watch your gas stations. Shake it. Shake it. When you go to swipe, if you're going to swipe, shake that thing and see if it comes off. If it moves, it's wrong. If you go to the grocery store and something doesn't seem right, or you see something up there on that register, I heard that there was maybe even a little camera situation going on. So they can take a picture of your card. So, you know, you need to hover over, you need to see what you do. Don't let them get at you. Be very careful. I mean, people got hit pretty hard. So what if your bank doesn't, refund your money? You're out. If they don't catch you, you're really out. So, yeah. So we have these, but it doesn't help when we go like this. You know, they got you. They got you. So check it, okay? Just wanted to make sure I told you that.
I got it 3 times. I got that once. And one time.
Yeah, so you see, they had her information already. That's how she got hit when she wasn't there. They will take it. If you see someone close to you, like here I am, and I'm checking out, and you watch it go, then you need to protect and tell them to back up personal. The stores have security, yeah, you have to be vigilant. Okay, I wanted them to tell you that. But listen, our time has gone forward, and we are all here for specific information. I hope you have the bills ready. I hope you have questions ready. But get ready. If you haven't wrote them down yet, she's going to present. I'm going to turn this screen over to her, and I'm going to see what's going on. There we go. Okay, so now when I turn it over to you, would you like to put a chair or put your laptop over here? Or do you want to?
Do you already have it on the screen?
I don't know if it'll reach. Oh, you want me to just pull it up? I can do that, yeah. Okay, I'll do that. I'll be your tech lady. All right. Good to welcome her. I want to introduce this wonderful lady first. This is Dr. Cheryl Kelly Black. And she is here at a request to get answers. We want to treat her well. We might not like the answer. We don't take the messenger. You don't like the messenger. We treat you well. And she's from Marion County Sheriff's Office. I'm looking forward to it. She's very kind. Give her a hand, of course.
Good afternoon, everyone. I bring you greetings from Barbara A. Lawrence, who is our Marion County Treasurer. Here with me today is Mr. Rodney Shine, who also serves as our Deputy Treasurer.
And I am Dr. Tony Blackson, and I just serve as a community outreach person for the Marion County Treasurer's Office.
So I'll give everybody else's information. Has anyone else been having slow internet all week? Just like crazy.
Here, okay. And while she's getting that together, did everyone get a copy of our flyer? The flyer is understanding my property tax bill, and we also have it in Spanish and the English version. Does everybody have that?
I must be in the wrong email. I'm gonna find it. I didn't download it. Is it the one from May 3rd? Did you say?
Yes. It says, Crooked Creek.
So you had it as a link.
And by the way, I had Mr. Rodney's title incorrect. He's the Chief Deputy Treasurer.
I just gotta search and find it. Are you writing down questions?
Yeah.
Well, our agenda today will provide you with an agency overview. We'll talk about deductions and exemptions, and then we'll also provide for you with tools and some data.
Here. Why don't you come and look at this and tell me where it's at on here? Yesterday I put on it. No. I didn't want to try it. Oh, okay. Right. And, you know, if you saw the folders over there, those folders were for you to take a folder per person and put all your information in there. So you can find it. We have great information that comes to us. And where else do you get to watch TV a little bit while we wait? We appreciate University United Methodist Church and the way that they host us here in this building. Okay, we're gonna come to order again, please, and everyone is taken. Any questions? Remember, hold your questions to the end of her presentation, and if you send them over, I can still type them up and then we'll pop them up and load them.
Okay. Once again, our agenda is the agency overview. We'll provide you information on deductions and exemptions and tools and data. The agency overview, we built in 2023 over 380 parcels. We also collected 1.625 billion in property taxes. And we distributed over $2.3 billion to 48 units of government in 2023. And lastly, invested $399 million on an average monthly balance in 2023 as well. Did everyone get their property taxes?
That's why we're here.
Well, everyone should have them. Yes, ma'am, everyone should have them because the remittances coupons were mailed out in early April. You receive two remittance coupons. One is due when? May 10th. And the second one? Yes, ma'am, that is correct, November 12th. Now, what happens if you didn't receive your tax bill? It could have been the wrong address. So what you need to do to correct that is to provide in writing an update to the Green County Assessor's Office and fill out their change of address form online. And I noticed that too, when I called on behalf of someone, they were able to provide them with that personal touch and put the information over the phone. Don't forget, with the assessor's office, not only do they have a office in the Marion County building, they also have satellite offices as well. How to pay your property taxes? You can do it in person. You can do it online, by phone, and by mail. Pretty simple. In your easy chair, you can sit there in your bed, and you can go online and do it at home. Deductions and the appeal process. The criteria for the homestead deduction is that you must be the primary homeowner in that place of residence. How to apply, if you're eligible with that criteria, is that you will visit the Marion County Auditor's Office or the county assessor's office and his satellite. Remember, I said that he has an office in the Marion County, the Marion County building, and also he has satellite offices. So you can discuss on the property taxes, and you can go online and look at his website and visit that website for the auditor's office as well. For more information regarding your deductions, please don't hesitate to contact Myla Eldridge's office in the Marion County auditor. Yes, sir. You can apply online. It's in the, yes, ma'am, it sure is. It's in that flyer. Does everybody have this? Is there like a deadline you have to? Remember, we need to hold our questions. Yeah, the whole presentation. And I want them because I follow up with you. We don't help follow up and they, as a group. And no. Write them down. That's what Chris will get it. With the over, thank you. With the over 65 deduction, circuit breaker credit, or over 65 surviving spouse. Once again, the criteria is that you must have turned 65 on or before December 31st. Have the homestead deduction. There's an additional number 3, the adjusted gross income of the party must be 30K or less for the owner, 40K or less for you and your spouse in a joint return. And then the criteria. And don't forget, everything that I'm talking about is in the flyer.
Okay,
So once again, the criteria is turn 65 on or before December 31st. So you must have filled out that form by December 31st for it to have applied for 2023, to have it applied for 2024. And number 3, the gross income for the owner is 30,000. For you and your spouse filing a joint return, the amount was 40,000. And the assessed value has limits as well. You can apply online, visit the Marion County Auditor's Office or the County Assessor's Office, either in the City County building or there in his satellite offices.
I want to express to people as well the reason why we have to pose the questions, because we are on Facebook Live and Zoom. They're not here to see it. They'll not get it. You may have the very questions they need answers. And also, if we're not careful, it comes out on the recordings, and then people can't understand. Thank you.
For more information, please contact the Marion County Auditor's Office. How to file a property tax assessment appeal. And the appeal types, there are 2. One being subjective, and I had a girlfriend that had a complaint because she felt that because her neighbor had made adjustments to her home and sold it, she felt that her assessed value should not have gone up, because she's saying, I still have holes in my roof, shingles are falling down, just about anything that she had. But she had complained about that. And when she did, to do that for grading condition, rending factor, then you must have contacted the county assessor's office. And also, there's a deadline of June 15th of the payable tax billing year. So this billing year being 2024, you will want to have made this appeal process take effect prior to June 15th of this year. And then there's an objective appeal type. And when Mr. Rodney is coming up, I always have him to come up to talk about the objective, because this is something that square footage is wrong. You may have been billed for 2 bathrooms and you only have 1. Or you may have had, like Mr. Rodney's case, 2 basements and you only have 1. So to file the appeal, you can come in person to the Marion County Assessor's Office, or you can contact the Marion County Assessor's Office, once again, in the City County building, or at his email address. So while Mr. Rodney is coming, we don't mind. Once again, this is our Deputy Treasurer, Mr. Rodney Shaw.
So I'm a long-time Pike Township resident. I live in Cricket Buildings, been here another house in Pike Township for the last 20 years. And I really appreciate the president of city county councilors and state representative prior. Really valuable to have representation from local government and state government to answer the questions that you have. I'll talk a little bit about information that's available to help understand your taxes. The state has a great tax bill estimate. So if you question whether or not the calculation on your bill is correct or incorrect, you can validate that by, if you just Google tax bill estimator Indiana, you'll pull up the gateway page. And on the gateway page, you can key in your county, which is Marion, and your tax district, which will appear on your tax, and your assessed value, and it'll actually do the calculation for you. if you have a homestead, you can click the homestead box, and that amount will pretty much match what your tax bill is. When I pull up example tax bill, it's with generally within $1. I just had an example here where the $429,000 house with the referendum. If you go to the next slide, I believe we put in a tax bill estimator, and it was able to calculate on the bottom the tax bill due on the state website was $5,099. And if you go back to the previous screen on the actual tax bill, previous screen is $5,098.55. So it's 45 cents different. So that's a way to validate the accuracy of the calculation that we get on our tax bill from our vendor. Go to the next slide. I also wanted really to talk about home ownership and how quickly what our home ownership is in Indianapolis and Marion County in comparison to the state overall, the United States, and I put in another county, Miami-Dade. This is information from the census. And you can see, if you look at Indianapolis, home ownership in Indianapolis is about 55%. It actually is down a little bit over 1% over the last 2 years. So we made a comparison from 2012 to 2022. If you look at Indiana, home ownership is around 70%. Hamilton County it was almost 80% in 2012. It went down 3% to 76% in 2022. And one of the reasons why I have that slide up is everybody's concerned about out-of-state investors coming into the state buying up property. Even though in the last 2 years, Indianapolis home ownership went down 1.3%. Actually, Hamilton County's home ownership percentage went down at a faster rate than Marion County. So the investors are looking for opportunities to buy houses. They're bidding up the price, and then they create rentals. I know that the state is looking at different ideas to kind of stem that challenge that the homeowners are having. Okay, next slide. You also, that may be the old slide that you have, but I'll talk about a couple that we sent with updates. There's a referendum, a school referendum that Pike Township has that's going to be voted on in May. And I had a couple of slides that really talked about the impact of the referendum if it passed. There's a calculator on Pike Township School's website. So if you go to their webpage, you can actually key in your assessed value, and it calculates the expected increase in taxes. The state also has a referendum website. So for Marion County and Pike Township, you can do the calculation there. So I had an example there. But we're open to whatever questions that you have for us.
Get done with your whole.
I think we're done with the presentation. And I think the thing that really Cheryl shared is most of the answers, most of the questions that you have for us, you go through the assessor or the auditor. We're the end of the process. We send out the tax bills, and what we talk about is we bill, collect, invest, and distribute. We send out 380,000 bills to parcel owners each year. We invest approximately, I think it's about 230 million is our average balance. So we invest that. Our return is a little over 5% monthly. We're going to generate over 20 million in interest income this year that can be reinvested in local government. But most of the answers to your concerns are through the assessor's office and the auditor's office. And if you read this information, it really, all the questions that you have, it it really details what those answers are or who you should contact. If you have a general question in one direction, you can always contact our office and we'll get you with the correct party. But I will add that next week could be a challenge for us because we're probably going to get about 1,500 calls a day. So there may be a wait, but if you call after the tax due date, there's generally little wait. We'll also take questions. If you write them down and you give it to us in person, we'll be able to give that to one of our customer service representatives, and we'll call you back with it.
I have, Mr. Rodney, an information sheet that the treasurer likes to respond to. So anyone with any question, please don't hesitate to take one of these. And in the event that, thank you so much. In the event that your question is not answered on this platform, we will hand it to the treasurer, and she does love to look them up and give you a call back.
But we can answer questions.
We have, I've been typing them up there, and I'll go and ask them to go along. Okay, number one, why was the mortgage removed?
Typically, I'm guessing the person is asking about the homestead deduction. So there was probably a change in the title. If there's a change in ownership, you have to reapply for that homestead.
Let me say, I write up questions, I don't type down answers. You gotta write your own answers down. You can have all the cards you want.
So there's probably a change in ownership.
Okay, so can they then, call, get the information by calling the office and track that down and possibly with the change? Because I heard you saying something about deadline, is coming up with some of the questions. And I know it is about
Yes.
All right, so that's something, and what number should they call in order to talk to you?
I know our number is on here. It's 317-327-4444. It's on.
That's easy to do. Okay.
Or you're welcome to call me. I'm the community outreach coordinator there, 317-327-4047. Once again, that's 317-327-4047.
And what our customer service representatives do is they pull up your bill online. They look at the activity within that bill, so they can have an idea of what happened and who you should be transferred to if you need to be transferred to get your question answered.
Okay, the next one was the deadline, and that was set May the 10th and 11/12. And what I'm gonna do is, there's another question that's tied to this, and that is, I'll paraphrase, try to get to it. Is there any way that we can get the bills earlier? Because it's such a tight window once people get the bill, and there's somebody else who's got a question in here that will validate that because they're bill triple. So we know the deadlines, May the 10th and 11/12. We want to know, is there any way we can get the bill earlier so they can budget or deal with it?
Now there's a certification date which is March 15th. After that's when tax bills have to be certified with the state. After certified, we have to process 380,000 bills and make sure that the accuracy is there. So it takes several weeks with our bill processor in order to get everything uploaded and transmitted. Generally in early April, the information is available to view online. And generally by the 10th of April, we mail out the bill, and those bills are in the mailboxes by April. So it's just every county pretty much, the bills go out in early April, and it's difficult to get it out before that time.
And then with that shorter window on a fixed income is what I'm getting, different things coming up, then that's not, people are not expecting a triple bill. So they don't have time to come up with that money. There was another one about installments
And one thing that Marion County has that very few counties has is with our vendor invoice file, we have something called Flex Pay, where you can set up a program to get monthly, if you want monthly payments, you can get monthly payments taken out in order to pay your tax bill. And it's reset every year. So that's something, if you
We're
call.
talking after the fact, instead of giving the bill. If I just give this bill, and it tripled from last year, I don't have triple bill money is what I'm seeing on these cards, then how, and then it's gonna accrue money, can you explain what type of fees accrue? Is there any way to waive any of those fees? With a lot of fixed incomes, and people are struggling and trying to get back on their feet, et cetera, and a triple bill of anything is very difficult. Who and what and where, why do they go to? James said, are they ever waived? And if so, are there installments if not?
And I would say that we, by law, we get away with the late fee. I would, if my bill tripled, I would think that there's something wrong with the assessment. Or I had a major remodel that's playing when I tax return. When it comes to payments, I would encourage them to look into the invoice file Flex Pay program to have their payments taken out monthly.
And we're watching you on Facebook Live.
Okay. And it's been shown that homeowners that are on a monthly payment program are more likely to make their payments by the due date. So that's one of the reasons why we wanted to have that program. When Representative Pryor was in the Treasurer's office, that's a program.
I know they just keep answering, but it's fine in with this, but-
Yes.
Forgive me if I just call out some of these questions. So that-
Thank you for more clarifications. My main concern for coming here is it's strictly for quadruple. I just want to know why on my page is rising to the roof. I used to pay 700, 800 before. I don't even remember. The issue, I can show you. I have to pay 800 something on this.
That's enough. What I'm hearing them say is that you're able to call them and talk to them, and we also, I hope it's open, usually they let us have a Zoom over, and I have great respect for what you're saying, that was one of the questions, but they're trying to answer this and all these other ones too, and the numbers, did you put in those flyers so that you can call them personally and figure out what it is? I know what you're thinking is what I'm thinking, but I'm.
That's right. That's something that we wouldn't be able to help you with. That's a question for the assessor. Because your assessment dramatically increased, so they can help you explain that.
And these other questions that are coming up might help you with your answer to this. Don't give up, okay? The next one that we have up here is, up in your window. Do you have each year for deductions? Make sure I did that right. Do you have, are you asking, are the deductions, that question is not clear. I'm gonna ask you to text me a little bit more about that, we'll come back on that one. A change was made on my deed and my homestead deduction fell off. Why isn't the homeowner informed or practically? I think we answered that, right? Who determines how much we have to pay if there are any increases? That's number 7.
It's based on the fair market of the market value of your home on January 1st, I guess the previous year, and it's a calculation that the assessors go through. I don't know what's involved with it. That's more of a discussion for the assessor's office and how the calculation is done, and they have things called trending, and so it's something for the assessor's office.
Okay, the next one tags on to that one is, can you explain how school referendums affect our taxes, and if everyone votes no to a tax referendum, does it still automatically get approved?
Yeah, they vote if
Did
the,
I do that one right?
if over 50% vote no for the referendum, then the referendum won't pass. I believe Pike Township is 14.5 million. Most of the referendums have passed. And
Okay, that was, I read that wrong. They said if no one votes no, does it automatically get approved? So do they have enough votes? I'm reading, do they have to vote yes? Or what if they don't vote at all? If it's not
you
fifty
know, vote it all,
percent?
then you're not part of the,
So if only
Trust.
48% vote yes, or it's not be approved?
and that means that 52% voted no, so
Or they didn't vote at all? So a not vote is the same as a no vote?
a not vote is a not vote. So if your population is 10 and only 5 people voted, then it's going to be determined by what those 5 people did. 5 people that decided not to vote, they don't have a voice. They chose not to be part of the process.
Okay, I'm trying to make sure I get that question right. They're saying if no one votes no for the tax referendum, does it automatically get approved?
It's,
Kind of the same question and different question.
it just makes it, what's going to
I just wanted
happen?
to do them justice.
Let's say there's 6,000 people that vote. Based on how those 6,000 people voted, if the majority voted yes, it'll pass. If the majority voted no, it won't pass.
Okay, so it's majority of the vote. Okay, so if we have 5,000 people in the community and only 1,000 vote on that, if 501,
If 501 voted yes, then it passes.
but if it's 500, will they still get it? It's half and half, 500 say yes and 500 say no.
Okay, I haven't had that question.
I know, I'm sorry. I know, and then you're very respectful, and I'm so grateful. I don't want to.
Okay, Representative Pryor said it doesn't pass.
Okay, we got it. Thank you, Representative Pryor. Okay, next one. So. How can we stop and or have more control over the effective referendums and property taxes, which are damaging people's ability to live because they're so very, very high?
I would say that you do have more control now. The State House decided with there's maybe Representative Pryor can speak more about this, but the reason we have the referendums are to give local residents more of a voice on whether their property tax are increased or not. So the referendums are giving you more of a voice in whether your taxes will be increased.
I hope that you don't think.
No, this is, and this is good, you know,
We just need to answer these questions because people are suffering financially, and this is what I'm looking at here. So, and,
you know, and we're here to serve the public.
okay.
Cheryl was hired specifically to come out to the community to answer questions that people in the community have. So we, you know, if we're fortunate enough to be invited back, we'll be back.
So the next one is there a motion to cap the taxes for seniors?
I know there's been discussion on legislation. I think, again, Representative Pryor would know more about that. But I know there's some concerns about, especially the large increase in property taxes last year, and how we can slow that down so it's not damaging seniors.
Okay, I have another one. I do not have our 1040. How do I get an over 65 deduction?
Yeah,
Did someone hear that? She said
Contact
contact.
the auditor's office.
I don't have to take 40 because I'm retired, I have a 1099 that I just retired.
Yeah.
So, you see that, let's see.
Contact them, and then if you get that answer does not work,
Yeah,
they should be.
they've had that question.
But we have that question.
Okay, okay, we don't want to get too loud, please, because then other people won't hear. We still have quite a few questions here coming. And let's see. Someone asked, why can't the bills be electronically sent to the property owner? And they are saying that they are online.
Okay, on the information that we send here to parcel owners, there is an option to go paperless. And we really encourage homeowners to go paperless because you have an option to pay by text, paid online, so electronic is how most people pay. And we continue to get an increase in the number of residents that they go paperless.
Okay, next one. Did we go over, a change was made on my deed and my homestead deduction fell off by the homeowner? Okay, this is what I'm thinking we dealt with. Why isn't the homeowner informed more proactively when the homestead deduction falls?
I would, okay, not being, when the deed is changed, the existing homeowner would have to be involved with that deed change, I would think, so they would, I think the question is more is emphasizing when there is a change in the deed that the homestead needs to be reapplied for.
So, I used to work in the auditor's office. It's a responsibility of the homeowner to let the auditors know that you're still the same owner. There's no way for the auditor's office to know that you're the same owner. What that person can do is still file for their homestead deduction. And it can be retroactive. So just because it fell off does not mean that they won't get it. They'll probably have to go to the auditor's office, and the auditor's office may have the paperwork and say, hey, I've had a change in my deed on the same owner. And then the auditor's office will, usually when we were there, more than likely they'll say, okay, you're the same owner, nothing's changed, you still qualify for that deduction. They do have to apply by the end of the year though. And if it is on their mortgage as well, because it affects your mortgage if you pay your mortgage. If that's being affected, what they can also do is provide you with a letter stating that your homestead deduction is on your property, and this is actually what your property taxes should be based on that homestead deduction. So they're still eligible to get it, but they're going to have to.
That is great information because that's the kind of question that I'm getting and I'm hearing, and I would have as well when something falls off. Now we know we have a hope. If it's done by the end of the year, they have to go physically to the building and show the bill, right?
I will go physically. I will go physically so that I can get their letter as well. I will go physically and take care of it. I will try to do it on the phone.
Okay, will they give a person, when they go physically, will they give them some type of printed out documentation?
They can provide them with a letter. They have form letters that actually would say this person qualified for homestead deduction, and this is what their tax liability should be. So they can help figure that out for the person in the auditor's office. So there's still hope for that person. They just have to, the thing is, they probably should have went ahead and filled out the homestead deduction when they had the change, because they didn't. Now they're gonna have to go back and do some more work in order to get it and make sure that it's applied for the current tax.
Okay, another question that I got to have put up yet is that there is a new property, and it's a whole different property. It's actually a duplex that's been put up on a street. None of the other houses are duplexes. It kind of slid through, but the bottom line is people are concerned because this house is, they're going to cover 400,000 per side. So you're talking an $800 plus $1,000 home in an area where other homes are not. Not only are they not duplexes, but they are not, and we were not given due notice in that area. But they don't qualify in that price range. What will that do to the other homeowners? Well, because I heard you mention somebody else that said so. What will that do to the other homeowners, and how can that raise them? Because this is like 3 bedrooms aside. I've seen it. That's all I'm gonna say. But it's that's all I'm gonna say.
And that's more if there is an increase, a substantial increase in the assessed value, and that would be a discussion with the assessor's office. The assessor's office would say that they're making an assessment based on the value of your home, not a home that's close by.
So the other homes, one home, my home, say with 6 bedrooms, won't change the house next to me.
We're the treasurer's office, and that's the discussion with the assessor's office, is the better answer.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate that you take the time with our questions. Let's see. Looking, do I have does anyone have a question that I haven't put up yet? Okay, here's one. But I think you answered it. Can a homeowner call the assessor's office to have your property assessed again
Yes,
and put
that's an appeal.
down the stakes again? That's an appeal. That's an appeal. Is the form for appeal online, or is it something we can print out, or can you give us printouts that we can have in case? Because we have to the end of the year. However, our next physical meeting is in October and in November. But if we get something, can you send these type documents so that we can put them out? We'll put them on the website.
The documents are available. Actually, the auditor, assessor's office, they encourage people to apply online because they get a kind of timestamp on when it's done. And the person who's applying also gets information on when that appeal was processed, when that form was filed.
If you look at our website, thanks to Mr. Williams, what we ended up doing was making direct links because the city website is very hard to navigate. Can we work with you so that you send us a link and then we can identify this?
Yeah,
I
sure.
can click on that, then you can go to the, are you saying that the form that we fill out online has a timestamp, which is great because then it proves you did it by the time, right? So we can really go ahead and work with you with that, and anything you send me, I will send it to the person, and you can put it on the website. So look for that, those type of documents. Let us know what type of document you heard about that you want. And hopefully they're all something you can do online, but everyone doesn't go online, so that's why I was asking. Have I got all your questions up yet? And, will Indiana ever eliminate property tax 65 and older? Let me say something. We have made it clear to the city officials and everyone that Crooked Creek Alert and all of the people, not one has said that they do not agree. We want to see Indiana eliminate property taxes for 65 and older. We would like to work with Representative Pryor and anyone else to get that done. We need to know the agency, the 1, 2, 3, as Pryor, so that we can know how, we can't change it overnight. But we would like to know, can you please help us navigate that? And it might not be something that the state wants to do, but it is damaging. But Mrs. Jones and Mrs. Williams and Mr. Brown down the street get moved out because they have a triple assessment and they don't know why. We lose the fabric of our community that is keeping it strong. These are the people who have the wisdom, they have the caring, they share, they talk to young people, and we want to know what we can do because they've held it together for so long. We don't want to see them just pushed out financially, and that's why they're asking what can be done. And you're saying that it can be done in installments, but that would be last year. So we're trying. We thank you so much for paying with us. We would want you to come back, and we will actually. I'll make sure you can get on Zoom and be a regular to talk to us and get us answers. And so you get your questions ready. What other questions? What else did I miss? I'm looking.
So can I maybe talk a little bit about the over 65, or elimination for people over 65? First, I would say it's important for people who are over 65 to try to make sure they have an over 65 deduction. That's really, that's critical and important. To completely eliminate the over 65 deduction, we, as a legislature, we will really have to study that, and that is because that would be a significant hit to all of the other local units, so we would have to try to figure out where that property tax money, where that shift would go to. because we have the property tax caps right now. A lot of people are already at that cap. So if we eliminated it right now, then we wouldn't have enough money to pay for city services.
Two things, ma'am, that I know have come up, and one is that people, and thank God they have more than that, but that limit is so low, and it was lowered, the reduction was lowered. So by that being so low, then people are still getting hit so hard. And we know that every school referendum that you say yes to raises property tax. A lot of people don't know what that does. So when they see these nice people coming out, you know, we're not a national service here. We are a service organization, but we need answers. So we need to know how to work with it. There has to be some way.
One, I think, you mentioned that for the one thing that I have continued to try to do is increase that income threshold. Someone had mentioned that it's really low.
Yes.
It is really low. So we try to increase that income threshold so that more people will qualify. The other thing is we also try to increase the access to the benefit now so that more people will qualify. Because the over 65 deduction is amazing. And if you get the circuit breaker, it's even better. Because it caps the amount that your property taxes can increase from year to year to year. So we've been trying to work on that. We also are going to look at what it would look like if we were to eliminate the over 65 reduction. And where would those shifts go? Will we have to increase the income tax? Will we have to increase the sales tax? And what impact does it, because it's going to have an impact on the local municipal governments. In addition to the referendums that affect your property taxes, you also have the tips. And tips take all the extra money and it goes into the tip district, which is tax increment financing. And that means that there's the schools and everybody else is more reliant on the remaining amount of money for the property tax bill. So that is something that we have been considering, I would say looking at and thinking about. Is it gonna happen next year overnight? It is not.
I want to ask you something. What about the state of Alabama and Florida? They 65 and older, they don't pay property tax. I mean, have y'all been looking to see what other 13 states that have?
So those, it kind of weighs out. And the reason why I say it kind of weighs out is because, so Florida has a lot of people that come in and visit. And so they get a lot more in sales tax than what we do.
What about Alabama? They aren't that free. They're not tourists. They're not tourists like Florida.
And I'm not sure what else.
Everybody from Alabama.
Other states may have higher income tax. So that's why I said we have to look at it and see where we're gonna get the money from. Because if we eliminated the property tax in general, regardless, we have to make it up somewhere. So where would we be able to make it up?
Excise tax, the license plates. Those I know, but they don't pay too.
But they're even more than what they would be if we didn't have.
I know, but they're still too high.
Okay, let's ask about this.
Yeah.
Can we get information? Thank you so much. Wasn't that great information from everyone? Can we get information about where are these tip districts so we can know if it's affecting us? And how can we help? Because we understand that there has to be a balance, but we don't understand what quality of balance and the imbalance. And it's hitting people so hard because it's ripping neighborhoods. And, Brianne and Jared, we need you to help us understand, navigate, know what you can do, what you can't do, and some of the other things that are going on. We need help with things like this. And AES is getting away with what they're getting away with, and then they give the taxes tripling. And now we are figuring, we kind of think that the gas company's going to come after us next. How can we help? What can we do to work together? What can we do? What can you send so that we can be more informed and we can, how can we help us? And and have a better voice with you, so that you have the people that you need to be able to say, well, this is, you know, one thing about taxes, you can tax people, but if you run everybody out of there, because there's nobody to tax, you know, if they all have to leave, then you end up with a bunch of empty houses. Any more questions for these wonderful people who gave us such a great presentation? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Remember, she said if you have more questions, we can still get some questions answered. Okay, she's gonna leave some phone. Yes, ma'am.
I just have one thing, it's not clear, but I guess it's just, I'm just asking for clarification. I currently own a property. Now, I just checked my property tax bill. I do not have the homestead credit on there, nor do I have that circuit breaker credit on there. So I didn't even know about that. But I think you suggested that we call the auditor's office.
Actually, why don't you write that down for me,
Okay,
and then I'll go ahead and receptionally look at it.
okay.
And
Because I'm just
then
wondering,
call you back.
I just have a bill now right now. If I get the property tax, I guess the homestead, can that be applied to this one, or is that next year's? Or how is that, what is that?
Well, you will have to fill, for that deduction.
Yes.
You'll fill out that form by
Okay.
December 31st.
Oh, this year?
Of this year. So it's for next year.
Okay, what about this year?
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay,
Well, I'm not gonna say nothing.
Okay.
Because you might have some kind of situation going on. So please contact the auditor's office.
No. I also thought I heard someone say they can get back to you. They can come back. Get the rates. Contact the shop. This one here?
No, this is the one that I was going to ask. But it's related to the auditor. I don't mind contacting them to find out what the answer is. So write it down.
Okay, I can call out your office myself. Okay. If you have more pull it down.
I'll pull it out. I want to go back to the thing about writing questions down and give you another reason. Because when you give all these questions about these issues, you know what I'm gonna do with those questions? I'm gonna compile those questions and I'm gonna send them to all 5 city county councils. I'm gonna make sure they all know, yes, I am. And I will send it wherever you need it to be sent to, any contact that we have. On top of that, our records are ours. You are online, you are recorded, someone knows what's going on, and we can build on that. How about that? I want to also let you know that in June, first Saturday, now we won't have another physical meeting until October and then November. We will have our virtual meeting. And the virtual meeting you can always find by personal show, crookedalert.com. Go to the Zoom. It is so easy. Go, point, click, and you'll get let in. On top of that, pay attention to the website. I want you to know about an event coming up in June, first Saturday. I will be there and be working with a group called Macro B, where what we're working on is finding out what are the policies and procedures that show a disparity difference disparaging difference in opioid deaths between the Black population and others. What we learned there and what we are able to solve there helps everybody. Opioid deaths are up, fentanyl deaths are up. It is horrible what's going on. So we have all the movers and shakers come to that meeting. This is Charlotte Crabtree got me involved in that with the permission of the other presidents in our group. They were happy for me to go and do that. This is not race based. It's finding out what the solution is called. I'll be at Martin University. That's where we will be televising from, so to speak. You are welcome to come. The information will go out so you can come because it's going to be in the 46218 area. But there are other areas we have got to do something. It will be at your door if it's not already there. Everybody knows someone who's died from some sort of overdose. It's epidemic. So So please go, you can find information on the website. You will not get a lot of emails from me. It's going on the website. I'm sorry, I should have put that camera in my mouth before I spoke to you. But it's going on the website. And it's better for you because you can go, you can see it, you can go back and look at it again. You can send a comment in. What do you need? What do we need to work on? How can we work together? It is so easy to do. Please go to that website, freeforwork.com. Go to your website, find your counselors, see the people who show up. And what do you want to tell them? And the ones that don't, let them know. You want to know why they don't. And maybe they don't know that you want them to show up. So please let them know. Because we have a great community. You want to see your community stay, you got to work together. Any comments, any questions? Well, with that, we are hereby adjourned. Thank you for coming. That's good. Talk to your representatives, get to know them. And they know something that you want to know.
Do you apply for that? Okay, mine has to, on my bill, I have a.
Is that for residents?
No, but that's all.
Okay, I don't have that. Okay, so, and that was my, that's actually my question is, you know, I used to work for the idea.
The way it is.
It's just the guest, the guest.